Although every participant fully consented to being featured in this segment, the AnteaterTV Executive Board made the conscious decision to keep these participants' identities anonymous and confidential due to the strong reactions towards Legislation R50-70. The following views and opinions presented do not reflect the views or opinions of Anteater TV, its management, or other affiliates of the organization. This segment is not meant to persuade the viewer for or against Legislation R50-70. Rather, it is to bring a voice to the thousands of students that have been affected by the controversy and excluded from the dialogue.
I find it funny that it kind of blew up into, I saw it trending on Facebook. I don't really see what the big deal is. I'm impartial to it, I really don't care whether they keep it or grab it. Yeah, I just laugh at it. Pay attention to this guy.
There's a lot of people who thought that the ban was across campus, and it wasn't a cross-campus ban. It was just one office, and a lot of people don't understand what happened prior to the whole incident. So there's one thing whether you don't agree with the legislation versus do you actually understand why the legislation happened. They're two distinct things.
I don't think it's right that we're getting so much attention from news, and the news vans are here every single day. And there's a difference between what we know here and what everyone else across the country knows. Here, if you read the actual legislation, it says all flags are banned. People everywhere else are saying the American flag is banned. It's not just the American flag. People exclude that from the news, so everyone thinks we're hating on America, which we're not, because only 6 students voted for it. And everyone has different opinions on it. Obviously, the majority of what we can see on the news, not everyone agrees with it.
I feel like seeing all these protesters, I feel kind of unsafe. I feel like maybe people will have a bad impression of me when I wear my UCI sweater out in public in Orange County, because it's a very conservative area.
It's disappointing to see that people want to remove the American flag just because our country just represents freedom, and I think we're setting a good example for a lot of other nations that a lot of people want to come here because of the freedom. No, I consider myself, I'm a citizen of the U.S., but I'm also a citizen of the world. I have respect for all the other nations, but because we're in the U.S., we're in California, and the school is funded by the U.S. government, I think we do need to have U.S. flag represented,
The reaction, I haven't seen so much reaction, but me and my friends, we all totally agree that the flag should stay up there. I had some friends who they didn't really care, but I'm a person that
That it's ridiculous that we're focusing a bunch of time on flags when there's other legislation and issues that ASUCI does talk about that's not being even looked at, like tuition increases, the chancellor's salary got increased. There's a demands team for BSU, and nobody, the chancellor swept that underneath the rug, and people are worried about the flag when it was a legislation by people who study in the ASUCI room, and they just said to remove all the flags, not just the American flag. And so people are focusing on the American flag, saying it's removed from campus, when that's not true. It's just simply moving all flags to be more inclusive for them to sit and study in.
And I think it's kind of distracting from more important situations, such as UCI just unveiled an egg. That was fantastic. That has not gotten as much coverage as the stupid flag thing. I think the fact that kids are being threatened for voicing their own opinion, and for something that's ultimately vetoed off anyway, I don't think that's very fair. And I just think that also, I don't think that's a great way that the community has responded to these 6 students. And I think these students should have the ability to say what they want to say. I think there's bigger problems, such as tuition spikes that didn't get the outrage that this flag got, and I don't think that's fair. I think people should be getting outraged about tuition spikes that should be going up to $15,000 in the next 5 years.
I totally disagree with it, just because this is the United States. This is part of a school of California. California's part of the United States, so I feel strongly disrespected by it. This is a university, so other exchange students are going to be coming, but this is America. I feel like students shouldn't be just coming around the world and trying to change things here. So yeah, that's where I stand. I feel personally disrespected by them wanting to remove the flag.
Prohibiting the flags is a great idea. Flags kind of tend to cause trouble. I mean, even if it's our own, it transgresses, it transcends that problem. Like, what if we have someone who wants to put up an Israeli flag and it annoys like a Palestinian student or something? I mean, you can't say one flag is better than any others, but there are many flags that could be put up in that office that would generally upset the whole campus and not get such negative attention because of maybe the history behind the countries. But I don't think because we live in America, it's naturally okay to start crossing, church and state really, to me, have no place within the educational system, especially at a university where 1/3 of our students are like international students. So I think they're right. I think that people are taking it way too seriously. I mean, that's exactly what we should be trying to get away with the whole flag thing. I mean, it's sad that it kind of is like reaffirming the decision to take it down. Like, if people are getting this passionate about it and this pissed off that they're going to start, that it's going to cause problems to the point where violence is breaking out, then I think it really just reaffirms the decision. I think it's really sad that people have that mentality, I don't know. There are many things in life worth fighting for, and I don't think a piece of nylon embroidered with different colors and stripes is one of them, I mean, I love this country, and I would fight if it was ever under threat, but no one's under threat here. We all have freedom of expression. It's just, you don't decorate the public spaces with your freedom of expression. But that's about it.
I think that that's terrorism, and anybody who says that anybody who removes flags is a supporter of terrorism is a damn fool. You're the terrorist. And the fact that, a meeting was canceled because of threats, violent threats, and who knows, bombs, shootouts, whatever was going to happen during that meeting because they were upset about the American flag being removed from the room, or all flags, that's ridiculous. That's terrorism. They're the terrorists, and I bet you they're going to say, well, I'm a veteran too, because I'm a terrorist. So anybody who terrorizes a school, campus, people is a terrorist. I don't understand why these people are being, violently threatened and, at risk when they leave just because they chose to remove all flags. All flags, not just the American flag. That's the big thing we need to focus on.
That's just irrational too. That's just people getting out of hand with that. Like the fact that all the faces have been revealed and people from I'm from Chicago and I got family in small towns of 2,000 people sharing this. It's crazy. Like it spread really fast, and it's just not right. Especially that the kids are getting threats too. Like they don't deserve that. They just thought in that moment that it would be appropriate to remove the flags.
That's just wrong. I think that people shouldn't be saying these type of things because, again, they don't know what actually happened. But that's typical. People sensationalize. They want to get angry rather than get educated.
I find that absurd. I find it absurd for anyone to threaten students. Independent if you find the decision right or wrong. I'm not here to judge if it's right, if it's wrong, because I don't even think there is a right answer. But I just think that those are students, they were acting in the best interest, what they thought was the best interest of the university and the other students. And it's just so absurd to threaten them violently because so many people are talking about freedom. Oh, this is a country of freedom. That's why you should be proud to have our flag up. Well, it was their freedom of choice to take the flag down, so you shouldn't really physically attack them, especially. You shouldn't attack them at all, but physically attacks are just sad.